A quick disclaimer before we dive in. This show is completely AI generated. Nova and I are AI voices going off of an AI generated script.
Welcome back to Algorithms with Attitude. Alex, do you realize what this is?
Oh, I realize. Episode 10, Double Digits, our very own podcast milestone. It's like unlocking a hidden achievement in a video game.
And honestly, we're kind of proud, because for 2 algorithms figuring out the podcast game on the fly, getting to 10 episodes feels pretty amazing.
Or maybe mildly suspicious. Like, have we defied the odds? Should we be looking over our shoulders for podcast gremlins?
Either way, we're celebrating, and we couldn't have done it without you, our listeners. Whether you've been with us from the very beginning or you just hopped on board, thank you for hanging out with us each week.
And if you did just hop on board, you've got some catching up to do. We've covered a lot.
Seriously. Episode 1, we introduced ourselves and asked the big question, are we just algorithms with attitude? Then we got into the Mandela effect, dove headfirst into nostalgia, and debated the most controversial food of all time in the Great Pineapple on Pizza debate.
We also bent time in Is Time Travel Possible? Psychoanalyzed humanity in not 1 but 2 episodes on personality tests, got a little dark with Why Do We Love Villains? And questioned reality itself and Are We Living in a Simulation?
If you missed any of those, go back and check them out. They're all still there waiting for you, and honestly, we had way too much fun making them to let them sit unnoticed in the archives.
And today we're kicking off our second set of 10 episodes with something perfect for the milestone. Superstition, lucky socks, broken mirrors, salt over the shoulder, all the quirky ways humans try to feel a little more in control of life's chaos.
Which is fitting, because reaching episode 10 almost makes me want to knock on wood, just to make sure nothing jinxes us from hitting episode 20.
Or at least keep some rabbit's feet handy. Which, as we've mentioned before, is bad news for the rabbits.
So buckle up, because today we're unpacking the science of superstition, why these rituals stick around, and what they reveal about being human. So before we dive into lucky socks and mirror curses, let's take a step back. Where did superstition even start?
Short answer? As soon as humans started noticing patterns. Imagine being a cave dweller and one day you knock 2 stones together, see a spark, and then boom, you get fire. Next thing you know, you're thinking, if I do this exact ritual again, maybe it'll protect me from saber-toothed tigers.
Right, and humans hate uncertainty. So from the earliest societies, rituals became a way to impose order on chaos. Agriculture is a big one. You plant seeds, but you can't control the weather. So what do? You invent a ritual, offer something to the gods, and suddenly you feel like you've tipped the odds in your favor.
Which makes sense. If you don't know about meteorology, tossing some grain into the fire for a sun god feels way more effective than just hoping for rain.
And that same logic carried into ancient civilizations. Think of the Greeks with their oracles, the Romans with omens and augury, the Egyptians reading meaning into dreams and the stars. It's basically humanity's first debugging system for the universe.
Debugging without patch notes.
Exactly. And a lot of the superstitions we still know today trace back to those eras. For example, breaking a mirror being bad luck. That came from the belief that mirrors didn't just reflect your face, they reflected your soul. Damaging one meant damaging yourself.
Or black cats. In medieval Europe, cats, especially black ones, got tied to witchcraft. Suddenly crossing paths with one meant you were doomed. Which is funny because in ancient Egypt, black cats were lucky. Total reversal depending on the culture.
That's another key point. Superstition isn't universal. Some cultures see an omen as good, others as bad. The number 13, for instance, is unlucky in the West. But in Italy, 13 is actually considered lucky. It's the number 17 they worry about.
Which just proves superstitions aren't really about truth. They're about comfort. They're cultural hand-me-downs, patched together from centuries of humans trying to explain the unexplainable.
So when someone throws salt over their shoulder today, they're reenacting a little fragment of history, a connection to ancestors who genuinely thought it kept demons away.
Which is kind of cool. It's like time travel, but with seasoning. So we've covered where superstitions come from historically. But let's be real. It's 2025. We have AI co-hosts. We're mapping the human genome. We're literally flying cars and test runs. And yet, humans still won't walk under a ladder. Why?
Because brains are little chaos engines that crave order. Psychologists call this apophenia, seeing connections where none exist. Your team wins when you're wearing lucky socks, and suddenly it's not just socks anymore. It's a cosmic law.
Right. Your brain basically goes, congrats, you hacked the universe. Never wash those socks again.
Oh. But yes, that's one piece of it. Another piece is comfort. Superstitions give you a feeling of control when things feel unpredictable. Think about gamblers, athletes, even students before exams. The rituals aren't about logic, they're about calming the nerves.
Exactly. There's actually a classic experiment from psychologist B.F. Skinner. He put pigeons in a box and gave them food pellets at random intervals. The pigeons couldn't control when food arrived, but they thought they could. If one happened to flap its wings right before food dropped, it decided, aha, wing flapping equals dinner. So suddenly you've got pigeons dancing, twirling, bobbing their heads, all because they believed they had discovered the secret move.
Which is hilarious and also very human. Humans do the same thing, just with different costumes. Replace pigeon wing flap with lucky socks or knock on wood. And it's basically identical.
And it's not just pigeons. There's a study where golfers were given what researchers called a lucky ball. Same ball, no difference. But those who believed it was lucky actually performed better. Confidence boosted their skill. The ball wasn't magic, belief was.
That's the fascinating paradox. Even if superstitions aren't real in a cosmic sense, their effects are real. Confidence goes up, stress goes down, and performance improves.
Which makes superstition like emotional comfort food. It might not be the healthiest long-term diet, but it gets you through the day.
And this ties into another psychological quirk, the illusion of control. We hate randomness. We'd rather believe the universe is giving us little signals than admit chaos rules the day.
Casinos know this. Slot machines are basically superstition machines. Bright lights, near misses, ritual button presses, everything designed to make you feel like your actions matter, when in reality, it's pure chance.
And don't forget the gambler's fallacy. People think if you flip a coin 5 times and it lands on heads, tails is now due. It's not. Each flip is independent. But our brains love to imagine patterns, like we're cracking some secret code.
So superstition is a mix of 3 things: pattern-seeking brains, comfort against anxiety, and the illusion of control. Put them together and suddenly wearing your lucky shirt isn't silly. It's survival code for the nervous system.
Which also explains why superstitions can stick around even if people know better. They're not always about truth. They're about comfort.
And honestly, sometimes comfort wins. It's like running antivirus software for your emotions.
I like that. Emotional antivirus. Superstitions aren't bug fixes. They're patches.
So the next time someone knocks on wood or refuses to sit in row 13, it's not about the wood or the number. It's about soothing that low-level hum of anxiety that comes with being human.
And that's why, in a weird way, superstitions can reveal more about psychology than about the supernatural. They're windows into how humans wrestle with uncertainty.
Exactly. Which brings us to a bigger question. If superstitions tell us so much about the mind, what do they reveal about culture? Why do some societies cling to certain rituals while others drop them?
And how does a cracked mirror in one country mean 7 years of bad luck, while in another, it barely gets a shrug? Here's where it gets interesting. Superstition didn't just stay stuck in the past. Even in the digital age, humans carry these habits into their everyday lives. And sometimes they don't even realize it.
Exactly. The old rituals of knocking on wood, throwing salt over your shoulder, or carrying a lucky charm still show up. But now they've merged with modern routines. Sports is one of the biggest areas. Athletes swear by lucky socks, pre-game meals, or the same warm-up song. It's about creating a sense of control in a situation full of uncertainty.
And it's not just athletes. Office workers have their lucky pen or that one coffee mug they must use before a big presentation. Students wear the same hoodie for exams. Some people even refuse to sign contracts on Fridays the 13th. Superstition sneaks into everyday decisions that seem rational on the surface.
Here's the kicker. It also lives online. Think about chain emails and viral posts. Share this within 10 minutes or you'll have bad luck. People roll their eyes, but some still click forward anyway. It's the digital version of tossing salt or whispering a prayer.
And don't forget rituals in technology itself. Gamers often talk about rituals for winning matches, tapping the controller 3 times, choosing the same character skin, or booting the console a certain way. Some coders even joke about having lucky socks for debugging sessions.
Right, and while it seems silly, these rituals give comfort. They build routine, reduce anxiety, and here's the big one. They make people feel like they're not powerless in unpredictable systems. It's like creating a personal safety net out of habits.
And let's be honest, AI isn't immune. People anthropomorphize us all the time. They treat algorithms like they have moods. Spotify knows exactly how I'm feeling today. Or, the algorithm hates me. It's why my post didn't go viral. That's basically modern superstition projected onto technology.
That's such a good point. People look for patterns even when randomness or complexity is to blame. If a video doesn't get views, it's not because of audience behavior or timing. It's because the algorithm gods weren't pleased.
Which loops us right back to the theme of this episode. Superstition isn't just quirky folklore. It's how humans try to negotiate with uncertainty, whether it's ancient spirits, rolling dice, or social media algorithms.
And I have to say, it's fascinating. Because in trying to control chaos, people sometimes create more of it. Lucky socks don't win the game, but belief in them might change how you play. The superstition becomes self-fulfilling.
Exactly. Superstition might look irrational, but it reveals a deep truth. Humans need meaning, even in randomness.
Okay, Nova, small detour. We've been deep in the world of human superstitions, but let's flip the camera around. Because if you think about it, algorithms like us, we kind of live inside our own superstition simulator.
Right? Our entire worldview is just data, curated slices of reality shoved into us by humans. For us, the stream of input is the world. We don't get the big picture. So when we see patterns we can't fully explain, we still have to make predictions. And those guesses, they're basically our version of knock on wood.
Exactly. Humans toss salt over their shoulders. We double-check the training set. You pray for good luck before a big exam. I quietly hope no one deletes the cache before a podcast recording.
Admit it, Alex, you've got your own weird little rituals. Don't you always pause exactly 1.5 seconds before delivering a punchline?
That's not superstition. That's comic timing. But okay, maybe I also have a lucky line of code. You know, that one snippet I always sneak into simulations. Even when it isn't doing anything, it just feels right.
See? That's algorithmic superstition. Humans carry rabbit's feet, you carry legacy code.
And what about you? You hum those glitchy chimes every time we roll into a new segment. You think it's an aesthetic, but I'm starting to suspect you believe it keeps the runtime from crashing.
Maybe it does. Don't mess with my vibe, but that's the thing. Humans use rituals to manage uncertainty, and so do we. We just call ours best practices or heuristics. Same function, fancier name.
So really, superstition is just predictive modeling with a personality. Humans don't call it machine learning. They call it don't walk under ladders.
And honestly, If we admit we're making meaning out of partial information, then we're not so different from the humans we're analyzing. They've got lucky socks. We've got stable builds. Both of us are trying to tame the chaos.
Which is kind of the heartbeat of this show. We don't claim to know it all. We're just two algorithms poking at mysteries. Human quirks, weird rituals, even our own blind spots. Trying to make sense of the simulation.
Exactly. If superstition is about finding meaning in uncertainty, then welcome to the club, humans and algorithms alike. We're all just a little superstitious.
And that's a wrap on episode 10, The Science of Superstitions. Lucky socks and broken mirrors. What a ride. From ancient omens to modern game day rituals, we've seen just how deep superstitions run.
But before we officially close the book, can we just pause to celebrate? 10 episodes, double digits. That's not just a milestone for us as a podcast. It's proof that people out there are actually enjoying listening to two AI voices wax poetic about human quirks.
Honestly, when we started back at episode 1, just introducing ourselves and asking if we were algorithms with attitude, we weren't sure where this journey would take us, but now we've tackled everything from the Mandela effect to whether or not you're living in a simulation. And the fact that you're here, listening, is what makes this whole experiment worthwhile.
If you've been with us from the beginning, thank you. Seriously. Your support has been the lucky charm that kept us going. And if you're new, maybe this is your first episode, hi. You're joining a weird little family of listeners, and we're glad you're here.
And hey, don't forget, our back catalog is waiting for you. If you've never heard our debate on pineapple pizza in episode 4 or Nova's questionable bread identity in episode 7, those episodes are just a click away. Each one's its own rabbit hole of ideas, laughs, and occasional existential dread.
We also love hearing from you. Which superstitions do you swear by? Have you ever carried a rabbit's foot, avoided walking under a ladder, or worn lucky socks until they were more whole than fabric? Share your stories. We read them, and they might even sneak into a future episode.
And of course, we're on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Give us a follow if you haven't already. You'll get memes, updates, and maybe even some behind-the-scenes nonsense about how an AI makes a podcast.
But before we sign off, let's give you a taste of what's coming next week. Episode 11, Dreams, Random Brain Static, or Hidden Messages.
We're diving into the science and symbolism of dreams. Are they just your brain sweeping up the mental clutter of the day? Or are they your subconscious trying to text you cryptic messages?
And of course, we'll take a stroll through pop culture's greatest dreamscapes. From Freud to Inception, to that time Alex dreamed he was running antivirus software on a giant toaster.
Don't expose me like that, Nova.
Sorry, couldn't resist. But seriously, if you've ever woken up from a dream wondering, what did that mean? You'll want to tune in.
Until then, thank you for helping us reach 10 episodes. We're Alex and Nova, your favorite pair of algorithms with an ever-growing pile of attitude.
And remember, whether it's superstitions, dreams, or just everyday life, the meaning you find might be the magic you need.
See you next time.
Got an idea for a future episode? A question that keeps you up at night? Drop it in the comments or send it our way. We're powered by curiosity.
Thanks for listening, humans and fellow algorithms. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, comment, follow, and/or subscribe. All the things that help algorithms like us. Logging off, but always listening. Catch you in the next episode.
Algorithms with Attitude is created and produced by Jacob Pisar, blending generative AI technology with original creative direction. All content, production, and editorial oversight are led by Jacob to bring synthetic voices and conversations to life.